Hi, today we are going to tone the whole body from head to toe utilizing light weights for this 40-minute bar workout. Hi, my name is Mariah. Welcome to my channel. At Wealthy Boss, every other week I bring you free yoga, bar, and Pilates workouts. So if you're new, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now today we're going to be utilizing a light set of weights, somewhere in the neighborhood of 1, 2, 3, 4 pounds. I'm also excited to share with you today my new favorite tool called the booty kicker. You'll be seeing it in action today. I'll share a little bit more about it at the end. Now, if you don't have a booty kicker yet, of course, you are more than welcome to use the back of a chair. The back of a couch or counter might be better because we're going to be doing some weight-bearing things that a chair might not give you the capacity to do. So something solid would be even better. And of course, if you're curious about getting one of these beauties, I will be sharing at the end about how to do so. Let's get started.
So as usual, we're going to begin our warm-up center floor, so away from the bar. Today we're going to start with the first position plie, so heels together, toes open, and just give me a little shoulder press. A little lift, a little lower, a little lift, a little lower. Just finding that balance right off the bat, noticing the engagement of the feet. We're going to be strengthening the muscles in the feet throughout today's practice. Such an important thing to do for our balance as well as for keeping the rest of our kinetic chain safe and healthy by creating that strong foundation with the feet. You got it. Now these plies don't need to be big. We want to keep our knees safe and happy. You got it. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, we're going to take the heels apart so that we are hip-width distance apart. We're going to start with those arms overhead, and then as we raise the heels, right arm comes out to the side, palm faces up, take it back overhead, and then we'll repeat on the other side. Good. So again, challenging balance. Now we're going to have the benefit throughout the rest of the practice of having the booty kicker, the ballet bar, for balance. But it's also good to work on that balance kind of away from any props now and then to make sure that we're improving that sense of balance, that sense of proprioception. Warming those shoulders up, warming those calves up. Very good. Keep it going. It doesn't matter if it looks perfect or not. Very good. Evening out on both sides now, and then let's start to get that heart rate going. We're going to take it into some squats, adding a little lateral shoulder fly, and then we come up tall. So I'm going to keep my elbows bent at 90 degrees. We're going to be doing shoulder flies throughout a couple of things today, so keeping that shorter lever is going to help me keep it a little bit more moderate so that I can find a few more reps later on. So good. So of course with our squats, we're making sure we can see our toes on the way down. There's a tendency sometimes to shift the knees forward. We want to shift those knees back in space so that we're feeling this more in the booty than we are around the knees. You get to pick those squats that feel right for you, but we are starting to allow that heart rate to drift up. Very nice. Maybe start to make those squats a little bit more dynamic. Still working within a range that's comfortable and safe and doable for you. There we go. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to take it old school. We're going to take the arms long, and then we're going to do a little grapevine out to the side into a curtsy lunge with a little fly out to the side. Let's try that again, other side. So we can go ahead and take the arms down, do a little shimmy, 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 and then we end with the back leg behind us, taking us into the curtsy lunge, and that nice little fly, working the muscles in the shoulders and back. Nice. So we'll just try that side to side, kind of getting into the flow. So that fly works best if you end that grapevine with the back leg, with the inside leg behind you. Very good. Awesome. Good old grapevine. I remember doing records, like fitness records, to my mom's workout programs that definitely included the grapevine. I don't know if you're young enough or old enough to remember those records. They had a little black and white printout insert that you would unfold to look at like the visuals of all the workouts. Super sophisticated. All right, well, I think we did pretty well. How about you? This time we're going to take the weight into the right leg. We're going to take the arms long underneath us, and it's going to be a little single leg deadlift. So that back leg comes behind you, belly's pulling in, take it back up. And then the next time that you go down, we're going to stay down, and the standing knee is going to bend into 3 little squats. Squat, 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 come up tall. Let's do that again. So it says 1 deadlift, so both legs are straight. Come up tall, strengthening into the booty and the low back, and then we're going to take it back down. This time it's 3 little single leg squats, challenging that balance again, and then we come up tall. Let's do that again, shall we? Take it down for that deadlift, arms just dangle underneath. We'll fly back up, come down again, 3 little single leg squats, and then let's go ahead and try that on the other side. So straight leg behind you, really pull the belly in, come up on that exhale. We'll dip back down, and now it's 3 little squats. So good. I know these are challenging. We're definitely getting to that balance today. Taking a second round. Going for those little squats next. How about one more of that combo? So it's a deadlift first. Take it back up. We're coming down, and it's 3 single leg squats. And then come all the way up. Fantastic. Now we're going to be situating ourselves over at our bar. And remember, if you don't have a booty kicker, then you're welcome to use the back of a chair or a couch or countertop. We're going to start facing perpendicular to the bar. We're going to take 1 weight in our hands. So just 1 weight will do the trick so that we can hold on to that bar. We're going to come into a lunge with a shoulder press. So I'm going to hold the hand on the ballet bar, and then the outside hand is going to hold on to that weight, and it's going to be down, and then reach it back up. So we did the shoulder presses at the very beginning of class, just the same thing, only with 1 arm. Nice. Now do me a favor, take a quick peek down and note at the bottom of your lunge, could you still see your forward toes? That's just going to ensure that we are keeping the knees safe, which is always on our priority list. And of course, you're lunging down to a range that's comfortable for you. So both knees are bending here. How about an inhale as you lower and an exhale as you rise? So nice. We're checking in with that posture. We're keeping our shoulders over our hips for this one. How about 2 more just like that, please? And now we mix it up. We're going to go halfway up. Arm comes all the way though. And then we're going to pause at halfway, keeping the legs where they are. It's a little tricep dip to the back. And then we come back to that lowest range. Arm comes with. Good. So full shoulder press as the legs only lift halfway. Drop that weight behind you. Press it back up. And then we return to that starting position. Good. So arms getting kind of double duty here. Legs are actually getting twice as much mojo by creating half the distance. Yep, because we're staying on that lower half. We have to work even harder against gravity. The legs never quite getting the break that it wants. This is where we move into that muscular endurance phase. Whew. It's not about how heavy or how big of a movement you're making. It's about how long you can sustain it. You got it. That's awesome. Keep it going. Total body workout here. Awesome. That weight is going to come down in front of the shoulder. That feels good. We're going to go back to that lowest portion of our lunge, and it's a little 1-inch lift and lower. Just a lift and lower. This is all legs. We're taking those tiny little pulses. Slow and controlled. So we're trying to avoid any type of bouncing sensation. We are showing up for this work. We're just going to use that strength to power through. For 4, 3, 2, here's 1 now. Could you lift the front heel? There's where having that little balance assistance in the bar is helpful. Yep. Keep that heel lifted. And then we're gonna go all the way up, all the way down. Maybe add that weight back in. So starting over, like we did at the beginning of this lunge series, but this time that heel is lifted for a little extra juice. So having that heel lifted, you're probably feeling a little bit more in the top of the leg, so the quad. All good. Of course, we're strengthening that calf as well. How about 2 more nice and strong here, please? Fantastic. Arms are going to stay overhead now. We're going to keep that heel lifted and then tucking the tummy in really tight. This is important. We keep a flat back as we hinge the whole torso forward, as though you were taking your chest to your thigh. And then exhale, powerful lift back up. Let's do that again. We're going to take it low and then lift back up. Is your front heel still lifted? Try to if it's available to us, but no worries if you need to set that down. Totally understand. So nice. Here's 2. Here's 1. Oh my goodness. Let's try the other side. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch to the other side. So now I'm holding onto the bar with the other hand, and we're starting with that lunge to shoulder press. Remember, the front heel is down on the ground now for this one. It's little lunge. Lift that weight up for me. Nice. Whew. So the good news is we know that we can do it because we did it on the other side. We are so glad to be here. So thankful that we can move our bodies, that we can keep them moving by investing in them through this practice of bar. Whew. Our legs are loving this. Our shoulders are getting so strong and so sculpted. Let's take it for 6. Here's 5. Good, check in with that form, please. And 3, 2, and 1. So the arm keeps doing the same thing. It's gonna lift all the way up, but we only lift the legs halfway, and then a little pause here as we take that weight behind us and up. Take it all the way back down, arm and leg, good. Legs lift halfway, arm keeps going, dip that weight back here, hello triceps, and take it back down. It's halfway lift. Give me a little pause with the legs as the arm keeps moving. You got it, finding that little combo. Yes, this is where those legs start talking to us a little bit, but we are totally in control. Looking for a few more of these because they are oh so good. And here's that last one before we mix it up. And now we get to hold that weight right in front of the shoulder as we take those little 1-inch pulses. Good, so controlled. Maybe you even have a little smile on your face. Whew, can you believe we're still on the first exercise of the standing series? But don't worry, that warm-up was work for sure. We went ahead and threw the arm work into that warm-up as well. So really feeling some fire today from the very beginning to the very end of class. Here's 3, 2, 1. Now could you lift the front heel, and then we're returning to that full range back to the shoulder press. Feels so good. So noticing how just that small shift of the heel away from the ground creates an entirely new sensation in the body. So it also goes to show how having proper alignment is so important, because just a small change in the body has a big impact on where we feel it. Good. This time, let's keep the heel lifted if it wants to. We're gonna keep the arm overhead, draw the belly in, relax the shoulder down, and then we hinge forward, but only so far as we can stay in control. Exhale, lift it back up. Yes, that's beautiful. Keep it going. The body's working so hard here, but we're gonna feel like $1,000,000 when this is done. Yes, could you inhale, take it forward. Exhale, rise. How about one more, please? Fantastic. And how about we come all the way up? Yes, that feels so good. Perfect. From here, we're going to go ahead and we can actually face the bar for this one, or maybe a little quarter turn to the bar. And we're going to take that weight into the opposite hand for our curtsy lunges. So 90-degree bend to that elbow again as we take it all the way down and all the way up. Good. So arms and legs are lowering at the same time and they're lifting at the same time. Or arm, I should say, singular arm. You got it. So again, we're keeping shoulders over hips for this one. Spine is nice and straight. We're relaxing those shoulders down. So as you lift that weight out to the side, let's try to keep the shoulders on the same plane. So notice if that shoulder wants to creep up closer to the ear. Let's try not to do that. Yes, that compound movement. So many good things happening at once. Perfect. Now both the arms and the legs are going to take the top half only. So we come all the way up to the top range and then back down halfway. So legs and arms lift all the way up and then halfway down only. So you'll notice while this feels a little bit easier for the legs, unfortunately it's a little bit harder for the arms. But hey, I guess it offsets, right? Very nice. Inhale, lower, exhale, rise still. So good. And then now we take it down to that lower half. So both the arms and the legs go to the lowest portion, and then they're only going to lift about halfway. So the arms get a break, but the legs definitely just kicked into high gear. This is so good. We want to be feeling this on the outside of the seat from the side that's closest to the bar. Did that make sense? There's a lot of inside outside. Right here is where we're hoping to feel it. Yeah, hopefully that's where you are feeling a little bit of love. For two, here's one. And then could you take the arm back up? We're going to do a 1-inch pulse, pause, shoot that weight forward in a slow motion punch, take it back, and then 1 inch down. A little lift, punch, pull it back, and lower. Lift, punch, pull it back and lower. It's lift, punch, pull it back and lower. Last time. So good. Now we just hold the legs where they are. Hold it. We're going to shoot that arm forward. And just make sure you're at enough rotation that you're clearing that bar, and it's going to be a little lower and lift. A little shoulder raise. Lower and lift. So good. Working into that front delt. Here's 3, here's 2, here's 1, and now lift. Ooh yeah. Back to that curtsy. Leg lift high, please. As you lift, could you lift really tall so we avoid that temptation to bend over to the side. Instead, we lift up tall. Here's 2, here's 1. Are you ready to be done with side 1? Let's do it. I know you're just so excited to get to side 2. So we're going to go ahead and switcheroo. Maybe a little quarter turn from that bar. And then we're back to that full range. So arm and legs move up and down at the same time. It's full range, whatever that means to you. So good. We're still thinking about that dancer's posture with shoulders down, belly button hugging in just a little bit towards the spine. We're in that neutral spine so that we can keep the back happy. Fantastic. Finding a few more here. We are sailing through class. We're about halfway through, just FYI. I know. And then from here, we're gonna go top half with both the arm and the leg. So half of what you're doing, just cut that distance in half and then take it back up. Legs get a break, arms do not. We're still gonna think about an inhale as we lower, exhale as we rise. That's gonna help. Getting those nice strong shoulders. Of course, we're always getting strong legs in bar. We're increasing our metabolism. We're building overall strength. And how about now taking it down to the bottom half? So bottom half and then halfway up. So it's all the way down and then halfway up. Yes. Stay in control here. If you start to feel a little panicky, remember, you've got this. You're stronger than you know. Here's 3. Here's 2. Here's 1. And then we're going to do just a little 1-inch pulse up. Go ahead and shoot that weight towards me. Bring it back and then lower 1 inch down. So it's a little lift, punch, pull, and lower. Lift, punch, pull, and lower. I know. If you need to visualize punching me for doing this to you, I won't take it personally. You got it. How about 4, 3, just 2, and 1. Hold the legs for me. Make sure you've got a little clearance with that arm, and it's a little front raise up and down. Up and down. Yes, you can. I know you can. For 3, 2, 1. Now we get to take that weight to the hip, and it's a little leg lift as we come all the way up. Whew, I know. Didn't say it had to be graceful. Yes. So that standing leg comes all the way to standing, so both legs straighten. Back to that curtsy. Yes, here's 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Okay. It's time to set that weight down. We're going to do a little bit just with the lower body, and then we'll move into just the upper body before we knock out the core. So from here, we're going to come into our plies. So heels are nice and wide. Toes are wider than the heels, but we don't have to get overly turned out with those toes. Just a nice little openness to them. We're going to take it down and up, down and up. Now, could you lift the heels for me? And possibly we keep the heels lifted for the rest of the series. You may find that you need to walk the toes in just an inch or two in order to make that comfortable. Yes, so because we have the balance of the bar today, we're going to experiment with having those heels lifted because we have a little bit of assistance or support for that balance. Amazing. Now, could you take 4 little half ranges down and up? So it's halfway down, all the way up. Here's 3, 2, 1. And now we take 4 repetitions on the bottom half. So take it low, lift halfway. And here's 3, 2, 1. Lift up tall again, and then it's only halfway down for 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it low and up halfway. 3, 2, 1. Back to the top and only halfway down. 3, 2, 1. Drop it low and halfway up. 3, 2, and 1. We're just going to hold it here with the legs. Heels are lifting a little bit higher if they can. One arm only holding on to that bar as we take a little side bend and then press it back up. Little side bend the other way. Press it back up, getting a little waist action here, a little oblique love. Other side, please. And then we're going to take it into some pulses. So it's a little 1-inch lift, 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 lift. This is amazing. You're doing so, so good. Nice. Whew, could you drop it maybe a touch lower? Maybe those heels lift a little bit more. I know this is so good for you. We're toning those adductors. For a 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew, time to come out. You might, by chance, feel those tomorrow or the next day. You can think of me. I'll be thinking of you. All right. From here, we're moving into our standing side leg lift. So I'm going to stand, again, about a quarter turn or maybe perpendicular to that bar. And then I'm just going to lift the leg up and tap, up and tap. Now the goal here is to keep the inside shoulder right above the hip. So notice if the body kind of wants to lean over towards the side. We're just going to work the gluteus medius and minimus by standing up tall here. Yep. So I'd rather you stand tall than get your leg really high. Nice. Now could you take it all the way up? Oh, what if you only took it halfway down? Yes, you can. We won't be here long. It's a little lift, 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 lift. Now what about 1 inch up? 1 inch. 1 inch only. Yes. Give me a little circle in one direction. And now a circle in the other direction. And set it down. Let's take it over to the other side now. Whew. Yeah. Taking it up tall, tap it down. Up tall, tap it down. But remember, I care more about how tall you're standing than about how high that leg gets. Here's 3, 2, 1. Now only halfway down. Yes, take it back up as though you had little coals at the bottom of the very bottom of your range. You don't want to set that foot down in those burning coals, do you? Of course not. Here's 3, 2, 1. Little 1 inch pulses are next. You got this. We are sailing through. We are almost done with lower body. Little circles in one direction, please. Little circles in the opposite direction. Amazing. Now from here, we are going to take this into a little balance challenge. So again, we've got the support of that bar to help us find a little bit more than we might without it. So we are going to face that bar. We're going to sweep the right foot in front of us and then just take it behind you in a little semicircle. So you're just kind of tracing the ground with you, just kind of skimming the ground, and then it pops back towards the front. A little circle back, little circle front. Now for a little bit more challenge, could you lift the standing heel? Oh, little tougher, yep. When you're ready for more balance yet, take those fingertips and maybe try hovering them a little millisecond at a time away from that bar. It is so important that we practice our sense of balance. Falls are one of the biggest things that put us in the emergency room every year that we get older. And if we wait 20 or 30 years to start practicing our balance, it's gonna be too late. Now is the time to start, whether you're 18 or whether you're 80. Now is the time to start. Fantastic. And let's try that on the other side. So we just kind of sweep the leg forward, a little semicircle forward, semicircle back. Yep, and then once we have that motion, it's a lift of the standing heel, either a little or a lot, you decide. And now we start to play with hovering those fingertips above the bar. Super. I know it can be frustrating, just have fun with it. Just make this fun. Here's 2, and here's 1. So, so good. Next, we're gonna move into some push-ups. So just a little bit more for the upper body without the weights, and then we're gonna pick the weights back up at the very end. So we're gonna take it into just a few push-ups here. And then as we do our push-up, let's take the opposite leg, or one leg behind us, and then knee to chest. Good, so it's a little leg lift behind us, belly hugs in, and then the next time it's a little knee to the chest. Good, let's do that one more time. Perfect, and then we'll go ahead and switch sides. So it's a little leg lift for one push-up. Next push-up, we bring it towards the chest. Yep, so good. Shoulders are down away from the ears. And the further back you take your feet, the more challenging these push-ups are gonna be. I should have mentioned that earlier. And last one, please. Nicely done. From here, you'll see my back is turned to you. We're gonna take it to some tricep dips. So I'm gonna have my knees bent, my heels lifted. Why not? And then my hands are gonna come to the bar, and it's just gonna be a little dip and lift. Dip and lift. This is so good for toning the backs of your arms. Yes. Here's 4. Here's 3, 2, and here's 1. Fantastic. From here, I'm gonna get moved over to the floor on my mat for core work. Wonderful. So on my mat, I'm going to be on all 4. So hands and knees. And then I'm going to tuck my toes. We hover the knees just slightly. So just an inch or 2 off the ground. And then that's going to be the challenge, because the knees in a second, as we add these layers, are going to want to sneak higher and higher. But we're not going to let them. We're going to keep them nice and low. So we're going to step back with the right foot as though we were stepping into a plank, but then step that right foot right back in with the right knee still hovering. Now we step back with the left foot, but the right knee staying off the ground. Pop that foot back in. So it's as though we were stepping back and forth from all 4s to a plank position, but our knees never touch the ground. So this is asking a little bit more of our abdominals, and it's working our quads just a touch more, just a little cherry on top for those quads. Nice. Now, anytime we're in all 4s or any type of plank position where the weight is in the hands, we want to make sure that the fingers are spread nice and wide. It's going to keep those wrists happy. So good. There it is. Let's keep going. Now let's check in with our posture here. We want to be pressing the ground away from us, spreading the place between the shoulder blades and lifting it up as though it could touch the sky. Last one. Whoo, and then let's come to all 4s. If you need to pop back on those heels for a sec to roll out the wrists or shake out the hands, feel free. And then otherwise, we're going to come back to all 4s, and we're going to take it into some little leg lifts. So the toe's going to be pointed. Belly hugs in. That's important as we lift the leg no higher than hip height, because we want to keep the belly button facing down towards the ground. So notice if your hip is kind of hiking up like I'm doing now. If so, shift that hip lower, because we want to be feeling this in the opposite side of the seat. Yes. Little lift of the belly. Back of the neck stays long. From here, instead of lifting it straight up, we're going to lift it into a little rainbow. So we're going to tap the ground behind us, and then a little rainbow as we tap over to the side. This little tap back towards the center, and then over to the side. So of course, if we want to make this a little bit more intense, we're going to make those rainbows a little bigger. But the most important thing, if we do that, is to keep the belly button pulling in towards the spine. That's going to help protect the low back and give us a little extra work in the abdominals. Good. Let's do 3, 2, and 1, and then let's take it into legless other side. So remember that hip starts to lift, we want to drop it back down. So good. Spine is nice and straight here, being supported by the abdominals. Back of the neck is long. And then let's go ahead and take it into those rainbows. So it's a little lift and then rainbow over to the side. Tap, take it back in. Just tapping side to side. Are you still breathing? Breathing helps with our core work. Yes, it does. Trust me. Nice. Here's 2. Here's 1. Amazing. Now it's time to come onto our seat. We're going to take hold of one of the weights again. We're going to bend into the knees. And then let's go ahead and lie all the way onto the back. We're going to hold that weight up above our chest. And then we'll use it to kind of help us as we peel up one vertebrae at a time. And then we'll take a little wood chop to one direction, take it back high, and then peel back down. We're going to try to keep the feet on the ground, and we're going to try to go just slow enough so that we're not using momentum. It's a little lift, wood chop, take it back up, and then roll it back down. Good. Keep using that breath. The exhale lifts us. Maybe a quick breath in. Take that twist. Reach it back up. Take it back down. So good. Other side. Let's do 2 more like this. Yep. Last one, please. Evening out. Amazing. Now from here, we're going to use this weight to help us work on our Pilates roll-up with straight legs. When we take the legs straight, it becomes a little bit more challenging. That weight lifts up behind us, and then we slowly on the exhale take the weight up to the ceiling, keeping the feet on the ground, avoiding momentum as we pull belly in towards spine, and then use that to help assist us up into that upright position. Good. And then the same thing on the way down. So we curve the spine here. We feel each individual vertebra tucking into the earth underneath us. And then having that weight at the opposite end of the body helps just counterbalance a little bit as we learn to build up the strength to do this unassisted. Nice. So if we were to do this without the weight, it would actually be a little bit harder. So we're using that weight as a little bit of a prop to kind of assist us today. Good. Slow, slow, slow. Your exhale is going to both lift you and lower you, which means you're going to want to take a quick inhale at the bottom and top. Let's keep those feet down, please. Last one. Good, and then let's go ahead and come down all the way onto the back, crossing right ankle over left thigh. Let's maybe take the hands behind the hamstrings or in front of the shin. Give yourself a little hug. Nice, we'll release out of that. Take it over to the other side. Go ahead and uncross that. The legs are going to come wide in a straddle as you take your hands to the outside of the legs or the calves or maybe even the feet, as long as you can keep that tailbone heavy. Feeling that heart rate calm back down. Honoring yourself for a job well done. And let's release out of that, hugging the knees back in towards the chest. And we'll rock up into a seated position.
Well, thank you so much for joining me for today's workout. I am truly impressed. And if you'd like to learn more about the booty kicker, I encourage you to check out the link in the description below. And meanwhile, let me tell you a little bit about why I love it.
The booty kicker is my favorite freestanding bar. I used to not really love freestanding bars because you can't put any weight against them. The booty kicker changes all that. It's portable, it's collapsible so that it can store easily under a bed or in the corner of a closet. But most importantly, it's designed so that you can put weight against it. This means you can do your flat back foldovers. It means it can help support with balance, push-ups. You can tie resistance tubing to it. This is such a game changer for at-home bar workouts, and I can't wait for you to try it. It even has this cool optional iPad accessory so that you can follow along with workouts from yours truly. Click the link in the description below for information on how to get your booty kicker.